CBS Sports grading our trade today. I'll be honest with you. After the trade happened, I passed out. Because, my brain was so discombobulated. And you probably heard that in the first video I made about this subject. That I just was like, you know what? I'm done. Now that I had some time to sleep and think, I'm actually really excited about this trade. I really am. First off, we were at rock bottom, right, with Jake Browning. And now we're no longer at rock bottom. But the good thing about rock bottom is you can only go up from here. And this is better than Jake Browning, 1. 2, this is a Super Bowl winning quarterback. A Super Bowl MVP winning quarterback. Well, yes, he might not be the same Joe Flacco he was when he was 28, 29 years old. This guy has the knowledge. He knows how to read defenses. He knows where to go. He knows where to go with the ball. This is something that Jake Browning just simply doesn't have. And a lot of it does come with, just game time and play time over the years. But Joe Flacco was also a first-round pick for a reason. This guy actually knows what he's doing. And, at the end of the day, you take a veteran quarterback, you put him on a team. A lot of times they don't succeed because they don't have weapons. You are literally taking someone and saying, hey, you're going to get Jamar Chase, the best receiver in football. T. Higgins, a top 15 receiver in football. Yoshi, a top 25 receiver. Okay, maybe I love Yoshi, but top 30 receiver in football. You're going to go out there and you're going to get all these great options. And also, I was thinking about this. Jake Browning, we talked about it earlier today. He takes forever to throw that football. I mean, it's ridiculous. He gets to a point on some of those plays where he's at 5-6 seconds to throw the football. And there's a motto in football where if you take longer than 4 seconds, it's actually on the quarterback for the sack. It's not on the offensive line. If you get sacked within 3 seconds, it's the line's fault. Anything after that, quarterback's fault. So, if you look at his time in Cleveland, Joe gets that ball out quick. He lickety-split gets that ball out. While, in obviously Jake Browning's case, that's not the case, man. That's not the case. So if our line's already struggling, and then you have a quarterback back there who likes to sit there and hold the ball for 20 seconds, it's not going to help out at all. That's why Joe Burrow, another reason why Joe Burrow looks so good versus Jake Browning, when it comes to his offensive line, it's because Joe Burrow gets the ball out quick. Jake doesn't. So there's those factors as well. I'm excited about this. This gives us actual hope for this season. And, listen, Joe's already beat. he already beat the Packers once. Now, it did come down to, an interception by Jordan Love at the 5-yard line at the end of the game. But still, this guy already beat the Packers. And I know he can beat the Steelers. He's done it throughout his career. And as long as we can hold out until Joe comes back, we're going to be week 14 in the AFC North running the division, number 1 in the division, week 14, get a healthy quarterback back when everyone else is banged up, when everyone else is destroyed. We're going to get a healthy quarterback, and we're going to run that AFC. So, CBS Sports gave the Brownies a B for this trade. Said the Browns weren't going to play Joe Flacco for the rest of the season unless Dillon Gabriel went down with an injury, or was initially thought. Flacco was QB2 when he was benched for Gabriel last week, and Sanders remained QB3. The Browns being able to dump Flacco in a 6th-round pick for a 5th-round pick was a solid move, especially for a quarterback who's likely wasn't going to be on the roster past this year. What I'll say about the Brownies is they're at a point now that they're 1-4, right? Season's pretty much over for them. Because season's over at this point, now you're just evaluating future talent, and you don't really care too much about winning because you're caring more about your draft pick. You're caring more about, who is your quarterback moving forward. And this is a situation where if you're the Brownies, you wouldn't have played him anyway, as they said here. But just kind of piggybacking off of that, you really wouldn't have played him because there's nothing you're going to gain by playing Joe Flacco this late when you're already done, right? When your season's already toasted. You're not really gaining anything. Cleveland has an abundance of quarterbacks on its roster, and the Browns were able to get a 5th-round pick for Flacco. and a 5th round pick for Kenny Pickett. So, yes, kinda. We gave up, we gave him a 5th, they gave us a 6th. They pretty much, in sense, traded up from a 6th round pick to a 5th round pick. Well, yes, they did get a 5th round pick out of this. The way they're making this sound is like we just gave them a 5th and they gave us just Joe Flacco. They are losing a pick and gaining a pick. Like, they're pretty much, in sense, trading up. That's what they're doing. So, like, if you want to think of it like that, like, they were in the 6th round, we were in the 5th round. They said, hey, we want to trade up to the 5th round. Here's Joe Flacco. Let us trade up. We still keep a pick. We keep a 6th round pick. So now we have 2 6th round picks. We just have no 5th round picks. So it is what it is. When they shipped to the Raiders, that's 2 5th round picks for 2 quarterbacks, giving the Browns 10 picks, including a 2026 1st round pick from the Jags. The Browns are stacking up and moving one from a veteran quarterback who won't be their rebuild. They got to see what they have in Dylan Gabriel for the remainder of the 2025 season, possibly Sanders. This is the right move going forward, Cleveland, which is the process of rebuild. Yeah, no, I agree with that. I don't think it was a bad idea for them, especially if their season wasn't over and they still had a chance. I think that it would have been a different scenario, Like, they would have actually probably, not done this trade, I feel like. But when your season's over, yeah. How much did the Bengals really have to give up for Joe Flacco? Was the price of the 40-year-old quarterback that high, or does it significantly signify how desperate the Bengals are to have a quarterback who isn't Jake Browning? The Bengals pretty much traded the same price to acquire Flacco as the Raiders did Kenny Pickett. And I think Flacco is way better than Kenny Pickett. 100%. Flacco led a Browns team to the playoffs a couple years ago. Kenny Pickett would have never. They are looking to get a better quarterback play than what they received from Browning in his first 3 starts. Browning has been abysmal. Completion 64.1% of his passes with 4 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, and a 70.7 passer rating. He ranked 37th out of 38 quarterbacks in passer rating. Cam Lowe is the only one lower, and he's a rookie quarterback. It makes sense. And 32nd out of 37 quarterbacks in yards per attempt. Flacco wasn't better in those 3 weeks. He was benched prior to week 5. He completed 52.9% of his passes with 0 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Perhaps the Bengals feel Flacco would be better slinging the ball down the field. Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. I very much agree. Flacco is very good at throwing the ball down the field. He's a big play type of guy. Now you have moon balls to T. Higgins and Jamar Chase. Yeah, across the board. And by the way, they gave us a B- for this. So they gave the Brownies a B and they gave us a B-. I think, honestly, I would give an A for both. If I'm going to be honest here, I'd give an A for both. First off, for the Brownies, I think it makes sense. It makes very much logical sense. Like I said, get a guy who you're not going to use anyway. Might as well flip him for a pick. Or trade up for a pick, pretty much. You're trading up. For the Bengals, you had to get somebody. And your options was Russell Wilson, Jameis Winston, Joe Flacco, and that's pretty much it, actually, in all honesty. And yeah, Russell Wilson won a Super Bowl 2012. Not 2012. That was the Ravens won in 2012. That was Flacco won in 2012. The Seahawks won in 2013. And, so very close, similar time period to when they won Super Bowls. But for the most part, got faith in Flacco, man. Got faith in Flacco. He's going to get the ball out faster than Russell Wilson will, which is a plus. And I think he'll kill it. I think he'll kill it 100%. Tell me down below your thoughts and opinions. See you guys next one. Peace.